Hello and welcome to the chapter Mineral and Energy Resources, Part 2, Class 8 Geography. We studied in the Part 1 the mineral resources are used for different purposes in our day to day activities. From the salt we consume to the house we live in, everything is made up of minerals, and we used how they have extracted. We studied about them. We also studied the process of mining. We studied about the process of open cast, shaft, and quarrying, which is just extracted from the beneath of the earth surface. Now we shall study about the energy resources. Energy resources can be classified into renewable and non renewable resources, energy resources. The fossil fuels, the CNG, compressed natural gas, coal, oil are the examples of conventional sources of energy. The solar energy, the wind energy, the bioenergy, hydro energy, tidal energy, ocean energy, these are some examples of non conventional energy resources. Conventional, as the word itself says, the one which has been in use for many years, from times immemorial, it was in use. Whereas non conventional, not in practice due to lack of capital investment, lack of technology, lack of exploitation, or any other purposes, they are not much in use. This is the image of the thermal power generation center, the thermal station. The energy generated from the coal is the thermal power. It is most abundantly found fossil fuel. It is used for domestic fuel in industries such as iron, steam engine, steel, steam engines, also to generate electricity. Electricity from coal generation is called as thermal power. The coal which we are using today is formed millions of years ago when the giant ferns and the swamps got buried under the layers of the earth. The big roots of the trees which are inside the earth and other organisms which are inside the earth, they become hard in course of time, and they are called as coal is also called as buried sunshine, and that gives the different forms. We will be studying the different forms of coal in our higher classes: the anthracite, peat, lignite, bituminous, and so on. The leading producers of the coal in the world are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa, France. In India, Raniganj, Jaria, Dhanbad, Bokaro in Jharkhand are some of the important regions. Coming up to petroleum, very, very precious, and the price of petroleum is growing at an alarming rate today. So, this precious element is found from the organisms living in the sea. As the organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea, got covered with the layers of sand, clay over millions of years. Absence of air under high temperature, high pressure, high compression, they are transformed. The dead organisms, the decayed organisms, are then transformed into petroleum, crude oil, and natural gas. The types of renewable energies which can be reused: hydro energy, biomass, solar energy, geothermal, wind energy. These are solar panels from where we get the most inexhaustible. It will be available till the earth is existing. The solar energy, it is used, it is very, very advantages. It has reduced the electricity bill. It is used for different purposes, different kinds of applications, very low maintenance once installed. If we install the solar panels after construction of our house, the installation charge may be high, but in course of time the electricity bill will be very very low. There will be no electricity bill. Absolutely, the technological development is uh, is required to capture this resource. The cost also is installation is high, but in course of time it is low. It is dependent on the weather. The next source of renewable energy is the wind energy. Advantages of wind energy: this also is very cost effective. It creates so many job opportunities. It is a clean fuel source. The wind is a domestic source of energy, and it is sustainable. It will be long lasting. The wind turbines can be built existing on the existing farms or the ranches, that will enable for so many activities in the agricultural farms. The next source is the hydel power generation, and this is a very big source. The plant capture the energy from the falling water to generate electricity. A turbine converts A turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy. Then a generator converts the mechanical energy from the turbine into electrical energy. The rainwater or the river water stored in dams is made to fall from great heights. The falling water flows through pipes inside the dam over the turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam. The moving blades then turn on with great speed, and generator produces the hydroelectricity. The leading producers of hydel power in the world are Paraguay, Norway, Brazil, China. The hydel power station in India are Bakranangal, Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjuna Sagar, Damodar Valley projects. This is the tidal energy source. It is used to produce electricity. We can see the high tide going through the turbine. The turbine rotates, and the generator makes the turbine rotate. This rotation of the turbine then is causing the electricity. That electricity is harnessed and then captures. Another image to understand the process: incoming tide enters, the turbine rotates with great speed. You can see the two sluices or the entries points there. This is the tidal barrage where the storage happens. Then after the electricity is generated, then it is passed. The tidal energy is a form of power that is produced by the natural rise and fall of tides. And we know that rise and fall of water twice a day is called as tide, and these tides are caused due to the gravitational force of the earth, the sun, and the moon. The tidal currents with sufficient energy for harvesting occur when water passes through a constriction, causing the water to move faster, and that force is in the turbine. When the speed is more, the falling speed, then the turbines rotate. This is an image which shows the non conventional sources of energy. The initial cost is more, but they last long. This are this is a conventional source of energy which have been in use for many years: the firewood, the coal, the petroleum, natural gas. What are the differences between conventional and non conventional sources of energy? This conventional source of energy, it's used for commercial purposes, business purpose. Non commercial, they may be in the households, domestic. Firewood, Straw, dry dung are the conventional sources. Coal, petroleum, electricity are also for the conventional sources. Non conventional sources, bioenergy, solar energy, wind, tidal, and also energy from the urban waste. The conventional sources of energy are also referred to as the non renewable. Once we use them, they get depleted, they no longer exist. They have both industrial and commercial purposes. The conventional sources of energy are not abundantly present, they are in small, limited quantity. Whereas the non conventional sources of energy, they are abundant. They are also referred as renewable sources of energy. So, same classification we can write as renewable, non renewable, and conventional and non conventional. They are mostly used for household purposes. It's not for big industrial concerns. If we need to use it at that large stage, we need to make lot of technical investment, and through technical know how we need to harness this energy, capture this energy. Conventional sources of energy, this energy is used by humans for a long time. These are completely exhausted because they are being used and they are being consumed over a long period of time. These sources of energy are not easily replenished. It will take millions of years for them to again form. The conventional sources of energy, they cause pollution, for example fossil fuels, coal, etc. Whereas the non conventional sources of energy, installation cost may be high. In the developmental phase, we need to keep investment costly, it will be. These sources of energy cannot be completely exhausted. These sources are replenished naturally through a natural process. Non conventional sources of energy don't cause pollution, they never cause pollution. For example, solar energy, biomass, wind energy, tidal energy, cleanest form of energy they are. This is a biogas reactor. We can see that here the slurry where the material is in the liquid and semi solid form, and through an inlet it is sent into, and then through a pipe the uh, biogas is being collected, and then the outlet expansion chamber that is letting it out. It is a gaseous fuel, especially methane produced by the fermentation of organic matter, a good compressed natural gas. Infrastructure is available in several other markets already today, and the environmental benefits with the CNG, including the biogas as a renewable methane source, are a strong argument for using methane products, that is CNG and biogas. The next source is the geothermal energy, energy generated from beneath the earth's surface. You can see the hot water. We know that as we go deep inside the earth, the temperature keeps increasing. The steam is running, and this steam is sent to rotate the turbine and the generator that is making the process, the formation of energy. Then through the cooling towers, the energy is captured, harnessed, and then it is sent for different purposes and usages. Geothermal power plants use steam to produce electricity. The steam comes from the reservoirs of hot water found a few miles or more below the Earth's surface. This steam rotates the turbine that activates a generator, which in turn produces the electricity. What are the advantages of using geothermal energy? It is environmentally very friendly, eco friendly. Geothermal energy is more environmental friendly than conventional sources of energy which pollute the environment. It is renewable, it has huge potential, it is sustainable for a long period of time. It can be used for heating, cooling, it is very reliable. There is no need of any fuel. It can be evolved rapidly. The next source of energy is the nuclear power. This is obtained from the energy stored in the nuclei of the atoms, naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium, thorium. These are fuels that are undergoing the nuclear fission. And through this process in the nuclear reactor, and they emit the power. The greatest producers of this power in the world, USA, Europe. In India, it's Rajasthan, Jharkhand. They have large deposits of uranium. Thorium is found in large quantities, and it is also found in monazite is also found in the Kerala. The nuclear power stations in India are located at Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur, Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar in Kota, Rajasthan, Narora, Uttar Pradesh, Kaiga, Karnataka. This is the process of nuclear power generation. Look at the diagram. The heat from the fission passing through the pipe nuclear reactor through hot water is harnessed, made the turbines to run, then through the generators it passes, then electricity is generated. What are the advantages of the non conventional sources of energy? They are: number one, we talk about the wind energy, non pollutant, low cost, safe, and clean. Disadvantages: noise pollution. Windmills are very costly to set up. It disturbs the radio and TV recipients. Harmful to the birds. Solar energy advantages: inexhaustible till the sun is there, it is existing. Non polluting. Disadvantages: it is expensive, installation cost is more. Diffusive source, so gets wasted. Tidal energy, non pollutant advantage, inexhaustible advantage. Disadvantages: destroys the wildlife habitat, difficult to harness, lot of technology is required. Coming to the nuclear energy, it emits large amount of energy. Disadvantages: generates radioactive waste, it's also expensive. The Coming to the biogas, the advantages: very low cost, easy to operate, makes use of bio waste. Disadvantage: this causes the greenhouse effect. Geothermal energy advantages: clean, eco friendly, always available because it is beneath the earth. Disadvantages: located far away from the cities, so it's very costly. The transportation very difficult. Natural gas. The natural gas is very essential. Now the installation of pipeline which has taken place in the recent past, new entry into the sources of energy, this has produced for a cleaner environment and cleaner fuel. It is less harmful to the environment than the coal, petrol, or diesel. It has less carbon dioxide emission. It can be easily stored and transferred through pipelines. It is relatively more abundant than other fossil fuels, coal, petroleum. It is also safer and lighter and dissipates rather than exploding. It provides instant energy, which is why it is used in oven cooking. It is also required in the different electric equipments, and there is no need of preheating, so it is quite uh, easy to use. So it is the responsibility of every individual to conserve the energy, to preserve it for future. Each one should feel that it is my responsibility to conserve energy. Do not leave the electric gadgets and the equipments after usage. Please take initiative to turn off all the appliances and store energy. Energy conserved is energy generated. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and listening. Please give your valuable feedback. Text me and ask me for more videos. I will be coming up with revision for your term 1. Please forgive if any typo errors are there, and any images are unclear or any other inconvenience. Thank you so much. God bless you all.